Hello again, 1/64 scale Ferrari fans. Today we have a new brand for me called Thrill of Collector. Interesting. Okay, since our part numbering there, it's shrink wrapped and it has decals. So if you want to make it look more realistic, you're gonna have to get some water and some tweezers and Q-tips and stuff like that. Maybe some decal adhesive as well. So I will do that later, because why not? This is actually pretty soft, this plastic here. So I'm glad I don't have to buy a big plastic case. First, the space. I don't have space for so many plastic cases. So I just want the model, right? So I'm paying for a minimum amount of paper, but it's actually strong. This is a strong cardboard box, so it's good for shipping. And there, for some reason, they have the sticker on the inside of the color instead of putting on the outside. Oh, never mind. It was visible. I just didn't see it before. So this is the blue color. I didn't even read this thing. And then it's got some paper here. No, I'm sorry. Plastic bag. Let's get that there. Little blister stuff here. So pretty minimal packaging, but it did its job of getting me the model safe. Hopefully it's got some good quality control and actually looks nice. We will find out in a moment. So Wikipedia is saying the C stands for Competizione. It's a track-based car. It is 500,000 euros. It came out in 2021. It has a naturally aspirated 6.5 liter V12, making 819 horsepower. Sending that power through a 7-speed transmission, and it's running on 20-inch wheels, and it's rear-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering. 0 to 60 or 100 would be 2.9 seconds. Alright, so I couldn't actually find something that with this exact blue and this exact stripe. The box said blue benzina, and I couldn't find it. That's the closest shade, but I don't know. These come in all sorts of blues, apparently. Okay, let's take a look here. So the base is, screwed in with 2 pieces, so you can modify it or fix a problem. I think the base is actually made of metal. The tires look very modern and nice. And do they look normal from the side? Yes, they do. So this brand understands that street tires don't have knobbies visible on the side, so that's great. In fact, let's zoom in a little bit. So the printing on the tire is pretty nice as well. Pirelli, those little racing stripes, P0. Then the wheels nicely molded, 5 lug nut holes, the center cap area, pretty thin spokes. There's clearly a brake back there with a stationary caliper. That caliper is like black or dark gray. There's no cross drilling. I don't know if you would think a modern car might have it. And also maybe these would be carbon ceramic brakes. So the brakes, they look a little bit too silver, but I'm not bothered by it. I'm just happy there's some brakes in there at all. So the front, yeah, looks alright. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Oh, yeah, toy collectors. It does roll and all, but you can just hear the friction, and it doesn't roll very easily because of that friction. Okay, well, I gotta say the stance for a rolling model isn't bad. The rear, I can't push it up anymore. But yeah, that seems okay. The front I can push up quite a bit. Maybe that's what's causing some of the drag. So this little side vent is painted black. It's got a couple streaks in there. We do have a reflector, red there, a little lock hole. The handle looks really good. This metallic paint is also nice too. It's not a big flake, very fine flake. This is molded in to get that carbon effect, this texture. Separate mirror, it's black on the bottom, color matched on the top, and it has a reflective sticker. Molded windows, this black goes on the outside. These little vents here are just molded into the casting. What else? I guess on the side, not much else. Well, no, there's some sort of venting here in this air dam up front. So wrapping around, well, we got a graphic for the carbon fiber of this intake here, this brake duct scoop or whatever, and a different texture here. That sounded like plastic. This as well. I don't know why those are there, but I do see them on the images. Maybe those are sensors for parking. You don't want to you don't want to hit a wall or a concrete parking block. Okay, so nice textures there. This side, what do we have? Looks pretty symmetric. I guess it's just a fuel filler up here. And then yeah, that carbon graphic is back on this section here. Oh, the side still has some sculpting right there. Okay, to the back, I'm gonna guess these must be the exhaust tips. There's actually horizontal strakes. I can't tell in the image I pulled up. Also, these are just silver, but at least on the car I show, it looks like they're maybe titanium, so maybe a darker metallic would have been better here, but anyhow, there's some black paint in this venting. This is all glossy black, but there's two recesses there. I don't know, I guess it must be vents. These are some reflectors painted on top of this graphic, which has a texture and paint to look like carbon fiber. Then you'll see the racing stripe is actually wrapping underneath the wing here. You do have transparent taillights. Unfortunately, you know, there's no silver paint behind them, so they pretty much look black. But they are red plastic right on the far side. Yeah, now you can see the red getting in there. But in general, they just look like they're black taillights because there's no reflecting light back there. This is a nice little stripe indented, painted black. So all in all, pretty good. Going up here, the stripe, well, there's some sort of contaminant or problem there, but a little shark antenna is a separate piece. There's some black here on the venting here. Some, I don't know about that either, contaminant. Panel gaps seem okay. What's nice about this stripe is it's paint. It's not, I don't think it's a decal. It's too smooth to be a decal, but look how it's actually getting into those grooves. So that's pretty good, and it's a pretty well aligned stripe across 3 panels. So I think that's great. This carbon fiber looks pretty nice. Some sort of graphic, and I think it's under a clear coat. I don't feel much of it at all. Again, the blue paint is very nice. It's not wrinkly. There's not much orange peel, if any. So very good. Oh, I didn't even talk about the headlights. Let's get in on that. We are 4 times magnification. Clear covers look good. Some sort of printing to show these 3 stripes. I think it's on the back side as well. And then some sort of light bucket, I guess, in there. So, in this black. So I would say that's a great headlight. Now to the interior. Well, first we got these wiper blades as part of the windscreen and raised, painted black. A little black paint here as well. There. And then nice carbon effect there with some very thin stripes going down the side. A little stripe, some silver for the vents up top. Yeah, I'm gonna need a flashlight. Yeah, silver in the middle console. You can see the seat texture looks really cool. And it's possibly a different color. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe it's just the light. It's hard to say. I think it's just black. It's just that the light catches it and makes it look maybe like a different color. But to the naked eye, I'm pretty sure those are all black seats. Okay, so rear view mirror, oddly, there is none. Well, not that I can see. Not really bothered by it, but okay, the steering wheel, I think there's a center mark painted on there. Very interesting that they would go through that effort. Very nice. Ah, boy, the windows are so shallow. It's hard to say if there's like an instrument thing. I don't think the steering wheel has any graphic on it. The binnacle itself, I don't know if there are gauges. I don't see any. It could just be a deep gauge, and that's fine. Yeah, so I guess if you want to, you could open it up and paint some more detail in there, but I'm okay with it like this. I'm never going to look at this interior after this review anyways. But for me, it's the outside that matters most, and I would say it's pretty good, yeah. So now I just got to come back after I add some decals to the side here, the nose, wonder if these tiny ones are meant for the wheel centers. Let's take a look here. Those are some tiny decals, and there's 5 of them, so I have to assume they're supposed to go into the middle of the wheel. You see the wheel has those round recess there. I'll be back. Before I come back, you'll see this also has 2 shiny horses in that Ferrari text. I am going to put these in water. I've never seen shiny decals, so I don't know if they're stickers or decals, but I'm going to put them in water and find out. So in case some of you guys have never made models, so it's just a tray of water. I put the decals in that tray and just for a few seconds and then pull them out. If you just leave them in the water, they're gonna basically, the water is gonna suck out all the adhesive, and then you'll have a decal just floating in the water. It'll float off the paper, which is not what you want because you'll probably destroy the decal if it doesn't have the paper backing. So also you're gonna want to get decal adhesive, because if that adhesive is torn up by all the water in that pool, you know, this decal is going to fall off in the future. So it turns out this shiny thing is actually a decal. It does slide around on the paper a little bit. It's going to be hard to see, but here, that horse moves around, so it is actually a shiny decal. Alright, this is going to be really difficult to do. First I need to put a drop of decal adhesive on here. Right. Now I need some fine tweezers to just hold the paper. Okay. And now I need to somehow scrape this horse onto that pool of adhesive, like so. And now I have to align it, and this is going to be hard to do. I'm going to zoom in and try to do this through my camera, which is really strange. I've never done anything like this through a camera. It's obviously not aligned properly. See, the pool is making it float. So a suggestion would be to have some small swabs and suck out a lot of that pool. So now it's not floating as much. Okay, so now I should be able to move it around and it not float around. I think kind of like that. Let's press down in that pool, suck out any extra fluid, and it should just suck down onto that screen. And let us hope, you know, since this liquid is actually decal adhesive, that actually stays good there. The only way to really make sure that never comes off is you literally have to cover it with a swab of like clear coat paint. But so that's the thing. Let me get the next decal here. Alright, so I'm going to try to put the prancing horse on this thing. So again, a little dab of adhesive. I have the things in the tweezer, and now I gotta scrape this onto that puddle. Oh, there's too much water on this, so I'm gonna suck some water off of that. And actually a puddle landed on the car. Alright, so here's the problem. That decal is on the mat there. So I gotta be really careful getting this up here. Alright, so I got it onto that puddle. Now I gotta turn this thing around. Suck out some of the fluid. Now align it in that puddle again. Too much of a puddle still. Sorry if I keep hitting the camera, but it's on a suspension mount in front of me, so. So this should give you an idea how difficult it is to put a decal on. And so that is why a lot of decals are not perfectly aligned. Because you'll see I'm spending minutes just putting one decal on. That's maybe not even centered right. So hopefully if I can drag it that way, drag it that way. You don't want to use a perfectly dry swab because it'll stick to the cotton swab. The swab needs to have a little bit of moisture so it doesn't suck off the decal. So I dip it in water. But yeah, this is not perfectly aligned. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Yeah, so, right. If there's any fluid left over, it will shift when it dries out. So you want to just lightly touch the edges to make sure there's no fluid that it's sitting on top of. Okay. So yeah, with patience, I got the Ferrari text there, the horse in the back. I'm holding on the corners because they're all still wet. But yeah, in the center of the front wheels is deep, so it's pretty easy to get those in there. But the back centers are not very deep for some reason. It's weird. And then those little side badges, yeah, I just aligned them with kind of like the top of the vent. So just be careful doing this sort of stuff and have patience. I didn't actually ruin any decals. I saved the other ones for another model. So in no particular order, we have a bunch of Kyosho front-engined Ferraris. Here's a 550 Maranello, which I guess came out in 1996. I'm going to just put them all in random positions. Here is a Granny and Partners California T, which I guess came out in 2014. I accidentally hit stop recording, so here's a new recording. Kyosho F12 Berlinetta from 2012. Kyosho FF from 2011. It's like a station wagon. I like that one. This is a Kyosho. What now? I can't focus on the text. California. This is kind of an ugly Ferrari in my opinion. Then we have the SA Aperta from 2010. And the last one, the 512 Scaglietti. Okay. I might be mistaken, but aren't all these V12 front engines? I'm not sure. I know the Maranello is, and that looks the smallest, so I'm going to assume all the other ones are V12 front engines, but I could be wrong. Let's get a low angle here. The Kyoshos don't have any brake systems. These are all just blister pack Kyoshos. Some of the crystal box ones have brakes, but not the basic ones. But I still like them. I think they're great for what they were. And a lot of them are screwed together bases, so I'm pretty sure I painted the interior of that one. Alright, you can look up reviews of these other things elsewhere. Well, Thrill of Collector. Pretty good model. It's just that they're kind of smart. They don't bother putting the Ferrari badges on. A, for legal pursuits. And B, it saves a lot of time for them to make this product if they don't have to spend like 30 minutes putting on a bunch of decals, right? So be prepared to do some work if you want to make it look more realistic. But with some patience, it can be done. And now I've learned there actually are super shiny decals. I always assumed they were kind of stickers, but no, apparently they're decals. So interesting. Thanks everyone. We'll see you the next time we review a little miniature Ferrari.